Warning, there is a good chance Bitcoin Mike has no idea what he's talking about. Do your own research. Enjoy the show. Thank you. All right, folks. We got Bitcoin under $20,000. Actually, well under $20,000. $19,874. We're pretty much losing all the gains we got over the last couple months when we went from 18,000 to 25,000. Definitely a nasty bear market rally, which we knew was possible, but there are some reasons behind this, and there's just a lot of fear in the markets right now, not just on the Bitcoin side, but also on the tech sector side, on stocks. You're seeing another bank collapse, not Silvergate Bank. Well, that bank did collapse, but now you have another bank that collapsed that dealt a lot with tech companies, so that's hurting tech stocks today. Just not a good situation. So you are seeing everything in the red. Let's go over to CNBC in a second. But regulators order Silicon Valley Bank to shut down in biggest bank collapse in years. The move came after growing concerns over a run at Silicon Valley Bank, the 16th largest bank in the U.S. and major lender of startups. The California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation announced Friday that it was taking over and closing the distressed bank to protect deposits, naming the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation as its receiver. The FDIC in turn formed a separate entity where all insured FVP deposits would be transferred. Well, I guess that's the one good thing about using a federally insured bank. You get your money back, but I think it's only up to $200,000. So that's not helping the markets today. And then, of course, you have the Silvergate Bank situation, which led to this more than 70 billion wiped off cryptocurrency markets in 24 hours. This is a pretty big dump, guys. I mean, this is up there with one of the biggest that I've seen, at least short term. I've seen flash crashes before for sure. Usually we get a little bit of a rebound. This is really just kind of like a wipeout. It's kind of like a reversal, like I said, of all the gains that we've had. So Bitcoin fell below $20,000 on Friday, hitting near a 2-month low. So essentially we're back to where we were like middle of January or something like that. Another factor weighing in on crypto prices is the collapse of Silvergate Capital, a major lender to the crypto industry. Silvergate said Wednesday it was winding down operations and liquidating its bank. And of course, like we just covered, investors are also on edge after tech-focused Silicon Valley Bank said it sold off $21 billion worth of holdings. I got this CNBC clip. Let's take a quick listen.
The employment report is the short-term shot in the arm that the markets needed. We were watching for three things, and that was labor force participation, January revisions, and wage inflation. And we got two of three of those in the right direction. However, the market's still going to grapple with a higher potential terminal rate and a faster pace of rate hikes. And if you look at history, pre the GFC, the average federal funds rate was running at almost 6% for about 50 years on average. And post the GFC, it was under 1%. So I think this is about the market adjusting to more of a return to the old normal environment that we've seen for most of our careers and beyond. Looking at Silicon Valley Bank, I think that's a binary event. Tough to call on that. But contagion, likely limited in the sense that they have a unique business model. We don't love the financial sector because of higher rates in general and the impact on net interest margins. But if I was looking, I'd be looking at companies with strong wealth management businesses like Morgan Stanley, other regionals like Fifth Third, which are much better positioned, or turnarounds like Wells Fargo.
What do you think about this hold to maturity idea, that some of these banks may be holding too much?
I think that's a risk, and depending on your customer profile of your bank and how you're positioning your business, it can be. And that's, you're looking at some of these companies like Silicon Valley Bank, which then can go into an unwind if there is a run on the bank. And that's just another
So that is interesting that, not even banks are safe. A lot of people criticize crypto. They criticize crypto exchanges. If you're holding all your own crypto in your own self-custody wallet, you don't have to worry about a bank run. You don't have to worry about banks going under. I think it's good to diversify. If you have maybe 50% of your portfolio in a bank and then the other half in some sort of crypto where you're doing self-custody, because right now there is a fear. As soon as there's a bank run, like look what happened with the Silicon Valley Bank, it just basically shuts down. So that's interesting. For sure. In crypto, when it rains, it pours. And we pump hard and we dump hard. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Things do look bearish right now. I mean, we're down to 19. Gareth Soloway, I guess I just have to basically just be a Gareth Soloway fanboy at this point. I'm a big fan of Gareth Soloway's, but he's calling for 18,300 or something like that as a possible bottom, and that's where he's heavily buying. And he thinks we might bounce back up to like $25,000 from there. He's been right almost every step of the way. So that's what I'm looking for now. I'm not buying anything right now, only because I've already bought at these levels. I was buying Bitcoin at 15,000, 16,000. I was buying Cardano at 23 cents. I will buy when the price gets below the previous low level that I bought. So right now I'm just kind of like in a no zone. I'm waiting and I'm following the markets. And like I said, Gareth Soloway thinks we could go down to like 18 in the short term and then basically get a major bounce from there. Crypto Ran had a few cool guests. He always has this girl. I forget her name. We'll mention it. She knows her stuff. She's really smart and really pretty. And she kind of sums up what's going on. Rand pretty much asking, is it time to buy the dip? What do you think of all the FUD right now?
Feels to me like it's peak FUD out there, and we know that peak FUD usually means it's a great time to buy. Everyone's calling this market down. I saw this tweet. It's actually from one of our researchers. It says Mt. Gox 140,000 Bitcoin overhang, East Shanghai upgrade, Silvergate liquidation, Signature Bank being next. Potentially, Biden wants to tax electricity used to mine crypto, capital gains increases in the U.S., inflation, Voyager liquidating assets, KuCoin sued by the New York Attorney General.
Okay, but hold on, right? On that list, right? First of all, increase in capital gains, never going to happen. Biden administration talking point, Dems love it, never going to pass, not in a million years. Electricity taxes for Bitcoin mining, never going to happen. We don't have an electricity police. Electricity is controlled by something called the market, supply and demand. If you're willing to pay for it, you get the power. That's how it's always worked. That's dead in the water. New York AG can sue KuCoin, Binance, whoever they want. They're all going to settle, right? Look at BitMEX, right? Slap on the wrist, settle for 100 million, boom, walk away. So like all of these things, yes, they're great at generating headlines. They're great at giving Elizabeth Warren and like whoever else their little talking points and doing little victory laps. Are they actually consequential? No. EOS raised $4 billion in a crowd sale, walked away with a $24 million fine. Like okay, so these things are inconsequential. This all optics. What actually matters, right, is where are inflows going to come from? So every week at CoinShares, we publish a report on inflows and outflows for crypto structured products, because that's what we can track. That's where we have the data. Right now, for the year, we're at about $250 million of net inflows into crypto structured products. Where are those inflows coming from? 2021 was fueled by retail and crypto funds, right? Crypto funds raised over $33 billion. So right now there's a big game of musical chairs going on. And that $1 trillion of market cap people like to talk about, that's not actual market cap because you can't actually liquidate any of those coins, right? And we learned that with FTT. A lot of that's monopoly money. So the question is, where are the big inflows coming from? Retail's not touching crypto. Crypto funds can keep playing musical chairs, but they're getting concerned about dry powder because are they going to be able to raise another fund? TBD, not in this environment. Where are the inflows going to come from? That is my question. And if we look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin every day, emissions, right? Roughly $9 million of Bitcoin mined every day. Someone every day, for the Bitcoin price to stay where it is, needs to find $9 million of Bitcoin. And same with Ethereum, right? Right now, Ethereum is sort of flat to deflationary. If we look at some of these other protocols, you need consistent new inflows of money to drive price higher. So the question is always, what is sentiment? Where does the sentiment sit? How does that sentiment materialize into inflows? Because the inflows are what drives price. And so my question is, who is buying and who is buying in size? Right now, in the next 6 to 12 months, I don't see any major financial institution, family offices, large pools of capital buying in size. That's the reality. The damage, the reputational damage of FTX, the reputational damage of what has happened over the last 18 months, like the excesses of this industry, which blow my mind. And I've been doing this for almost a decade. They blew my fucking mind, Rand. It's insane, right? So I think it's going to take a while for that to wash out. It will be back, but the question is, where is the money going to come from? And right now, I just don't have a clear answer. Sean, Kevin, maybe you see some big buyers or inflows or pockets of it.
So I do agree with that, especially with this whole Silvergate Bank collapse situation. That with the Silvergate Bank, a lot of exchanges We're using Silvergate Bank to get USD onto the exchanges, meaning a lot of people are going to want to buy this dip and they're not going to be able to buy it. I mean, there's always ways you can do it with MetaMask and stuff like that, or foreign exchanges, but a lot of people are just not going to be able to buy this dip because of the Silver Bank collapse. I think Binance International is no longer taking USD deposits because of this. So it's definitely going to put Bitcoin in a spot where it's stagnant. The next Bitcoin halving isn't for another year. We thought, this whole year would probably be kind of like a lot of pumps and dumps, stagnant, and then we would go bullish going into the next year and the next halving. And I do still think that's going to happen, but we could see a major dump down to like 18, 17,000 and then just shoot back up to like 20, 25,000, but just kind of stay there for a while or stay there for the rest of the year, just because there's not a way for people to kind of get in and buy this market. All the damage that FTX it caused, a lot of these big funds aren't going to be buying, so you kind of have to just wait that out. Let that blow over. Time heals all wounds, and give it like another 6 months to a year. So I definitely don't see us going into like a bull market or anything this year. I think we're going to have I think it's going to be like just like every bear market where we just have a lot of pumps and dumps and then we settle out somewhere. But right now the sentiment is low and we dumped so hard over the last 24 hours and there's really no stopping. I mean, there's really no stopping in sight. I mean, we could seriously dump back down to like 18, 17,000. So I'm going to stick with Gareth Soloway and say, hey, look, 18.5 was probably a good spot to really be accumulating more Bitcoin. If you have no Bitcoin, this is probably a good time to be buying. But with this whole Silver Bank situation, it's definitely going to be, I think, a stagnant, volatile year. But remember, folks, there's always problems. During COVID, everybody thought it was the end of the world. Everybody was getting out of crypto, and then everything worked out fine in the end. This is what crypto is all about. This is where the money is made. A lot of people say, oh, it's easy to make money in crypto. It's not easy. You have to be able to weather these storms and buy low. It's easy to come out when Bitcoin's in a bull market and say, oh, wow, I should have bought. I'd be a millionaire right now. The problem is over 90% of people will not buy in the bear market. I just texted 4 people yesterday that were big in the crypto when it was at $67,000. I was kind of giving them a yearly update on crypto and what I'm doing. None of them even responded. So you have to remember, 90% of people in crypto and investing are dumb money. 90% of people lose. So are you the strong? Can you weather the storm? Did you not invest more than you can afford to lose? If you're in that category, you're going to do just fine. But the fact is, it's common sense. It happens every cycle. Even people who have been holding for the last year and a half, a lot of those people are still going to get flushed out in the coming months, in the coming year. I mean, if we get like a flash crash or something down to like $12,000, say we did, think how many people are going to leave this market thinking Bitcoin's going to zero and they're going to miss the whole bull run. So all I can say is just look for good opportunities to buy these dips. But yes, things are not bullish right now. Things are negative. Sentiment is negative, but sentiment can change just like that. Look how we were positive. We were positive for a month. Everybody's bullish. And then it takes 24 hours later, everybody's negative. That's how it goes. You'll be negative for a month, and then some news will come out, inflation data, something will happen. Everybody turns positive, and Bitcoin shoots up $3,000 in a day. If Bitcoin can drop $3,000 in 24 hours, it can also pump $3,000 in 24 hours. That's all par for the course. A lot of people are also saying, oh, the Biden administration has put out all these proposals against crypto. They're going to do a 30% tax on crypto mining. They're doing a capital gains tax for over $1 million for if you made over $1 million in profits, which is actually most people don't make over $1 million in profits, so that won't even affect them. But remember, folks, the Biden administration, this is just a proposal. Joe Biden's one of the most unpopular presidents. There's a 99% chance there's going to be a Republican that gets elected next administration. He only has a year and a half left. And he's kind of like a dead man walking, President Biden. I mean, kind of literally is. So anything he proposes for crypto isn't going to go anywhere. So don't be afraid of that. That girl pretty much explained it. That's not going to go anywhere. And 99% of times when the government comes after an exchange or a coin or a token, they just settle. And that's always what happens. So you hear the story right now, oh, New York is going after KuCoin. Well, yeah, KuCoin has definitely sold securities. They sell every coin in the book, but, you know, the New York State is saying, well, Ethereum's a security, so we're going to go after KuCoin. I mean, that's, out of all the coins to pick, I don't know why they pick Ethereum, but worst case scenario, KuCoin will just settle with New York. And really, I didn't even think you could use KuCoin in the United States anyway. Like, when I go on KuCoin, I use a VPN. Like, a lot of coins aren't even available to trade on KuCoin if you're not United States citizen. So, but remember, KuCoin is not a United States-based exchange. It's based out of, like, South Korea or something like that, or the Philippines. It's not even, it has nothing to do with the United States. Anybody using it, they don't even KYC you. I'm not KYC'd on KuCoin. You just sign up and you use it. And they even tell you right there you're not supposed to use it if you're in the United States, or at least you're limited on what you can buy. I tried to buy a metaverse coin last month on KuCoin, and they wouldn't let me because of my IP address. So, you know, who cares if they go after KuCoin? I mean, it means absolutely nothing. Remember, folks, when Bitcoin dumps hard, it's all bad news. Everybody thinks it's the end of the world. It's a lot of negativity. I'm seeing it. But those people pissing and crying, all that negative sentiment, that's the bad energy that doesn't make any money in crypto. The smart money are basically sitting right now, excited, looking at what to buy if we dump further. And that's just the way it goes. It's as simple as that. I said this yesterday, ignore the FUD, ignore the noise. Could crypto all go to zero? Could Bitcoin go to zero? Absolutely. You could lose every penny you invest in Bitcoin, just like you could lose every penny you invest in Facebook. You could lose every penny you invest in ExxonMobil. You know, what if some grand new technology comes out next year and electric cars can now go 1,000 miles on a battery? Well, if that were to happen, and if that was cheap, all the gas companies their stock would drop like 80% in a day. So nothing in this world is guaranteed. But Bitcoin, the great thing about Bitcoin is we know about the 4-year cycles. Right now, Bitcoin has played the 4-year cycles to a T 100%. Everything happening now in Bitcoin happened in 2019. You can actually line up the charts. It's 100% fact. So me, I'm playing the 4-year cycles. That's what I've been doing ever since, well, really for the last couple years. And as of right now, I'm just monitoring the situation. I think we're going to be volatile. I think we could definitely crash down another couple $1,000s in Bitcoin. I do think the low is 15,000. I don't think we're going to crash below that, but anything's possible. And I'm simply looking to just fill up my bags, get as much crypto I can in these dumps going into the next bull market next year. That's been my plan all year. I'm sticking to it. And I truly believe that if that's what you do, you'll come out on top. But hey, this is crypto. There's no guarantees. But I know it's also easier said than done. God, you know, I keep harping on this, but when Bitcoin was $65,000, I had people emailing me I hadn't talked to in years. They're not even my friends. They just knew I was in crypto. And they're asking, should they buy Dogecoin? I've made videos on this. My other friend, who I'm a good friend with, I talk to all the time, but he didn't start talking about crypto till it was $60,000. My cousins are calling me up. Mike, how do I buy Bitcoin? When it was $65,000. Now when I talk about crypto, they don't even want to hear it. Folks, the world needs ditch diggers too. All right, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.